Hello, my friends. Welcome to another Live with Lava Sub. I'm your friend I'm your friend Lava Sub, or you can call me Weston. Today we're back in doing some digital. I did start that one piece last week, but I am most of the way through that, so I didn't think that would be very fun for stream today. Oh, so I am going to start a new piece today. We'll see how far I get with it. But kind of a Magic the Gathering inspired little shoot I did not too long before we started the stream in here. Kind of got a last minute Hail Mary idea from my weird, chaotic, fucked up brain. Yeah, so I've been messing around with a lot of my Magic cards. I have far too many. I need to get rid of some of them and figure all that out. Been part of the stuff I've been trying to offload since we've been having some financial troubles down here. Yeah, Magic the Gathering is one of those things that's just a very comfortable place to me. In fact, at 6 today, so at some point this evening, Ristic Studies, one of the premier just video essayists out there, but does pretty exclusively work related to Magic the Gathering, but finds a way to make it so much more. Has their newest video coming out on the Phyrexians, which is my introduction to Magic the Gathering. My first packs were, I think, Mirrodin Besieged, and yeah, me and Zach started cracking packs right around Phyrexia. Zach went with the kind of like revolting remaining humans on Mirrodin, and I went with the evil vile Phyrexians as kind of like the party lines we drew in the house when we first started playing. So I'm really interested to see Ristic Studies' new video, and as well as the video that came out yesterday, Spice 8 Rack, the another really amazing video essayist who also does Magic Gathering stuff, and also finds a way to make it much more interesting than just Magic Gathering content. They did a video on the long-awaited Mill versus Discard video that they had been talking about since, I think they're like 4 years ago. They started talking about a Mill versus Discard essay that they were planning, and 4 years later, the fans of Spice 8 Rack are finally able to watch this 2-hour, 40-minute video on the ethics of Mill and Discard, and so much more. And I really just can't. I want to recommend both of those artists. I think it's one of the only things that's kept me interested in Magic, is some of the people who make content around Magic Gathering that obviously come from a place that I can appreciate. Spice 8 Rack is activist and all kinds of other things in their personal life, and they do really amazing work. So just wanted to shout both of those two out before we get started here today. And yeah, I hope you're all in a good place. As usual, at the top of these, I like to do a little content warning for the following next couple of hours. I say a lot of stuff that might not be comfortable for all audiences, so viewer discretion advised and all of that good stuff. Yeah, let's take a look at this little doodle I've got going here. As you can see, that's just a picture of me in front of some of our canvases, my fridge that has the extension cord running to an entirely different outlet because the one that it's on currently is broken, our broken stovetop that only, that has one of the burners out. Just a typical Los Angeles apartment kind of vibes. Oh, and shout out to this wonderful little gator pot holder that our buddies brought back from Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, New Orleans is where they went. And got that gator pot holder for me and my partner Cat. The deck, not important. In fact, very little of what is existing in this image is really important. The subtext, the ludo narrative, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but the how the game of Magic the Gathering depicts its players. I don't know if you guys ever got real into Magic like I did, but one of the things that I thought was really interesting once I learned a little bit about the lore of the world and the the flavor of the worlds of Magic the Gathering is that every player is essentially their own planeswalker with an ancient powerful wizard with a giant spell book represented by your deck that you are pulling from. The cards themselves representing some kind of inspiration, momentary kind of uh, instincts that a wizard might develop, spells that come from a deck or a book of spells that all do different things. And I just really wanted to try and capture that in a kind of specific way. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start off trying to decide if I want to go like real hard line or if I want to do like a linelessy kind of paintery, almost Magic the Gathering kind of style of art for this piece. I'm still trying to figure that out. I think yeah, I think that's the way I want to go. I don't want to fuss with the line work of everything right now. I kind of want to just try and smack this out in one layer, see what it looks like. So the existing image, all that's really going to continue past this point is the table, kind of this silhouette that I've drawn here. But the silhouette that's kind of in the middle of this composition. We're going to keep some of that chair, we're going to keep the shirt, we're going to keep the pose, but we're changing up the lighting, we're actually changing the color and maybe texture of the clothes as well. The chair is probably going to evolve a little bit. I want to make it kind of ornamental. And I think I want to blast the background with kind of this like dark galaxy kind of vibe. Let me actually let's kind of just futz around with that for a second because I love that shit. Doing it in digital is remarkably easy. I've done quite a few of these. Some of my favorite pieces of mine are these strange kind of galaxy-like pieces. I'm just gonna select. The only color stars really aren't is like green. Maybe that's wrong, but that's how I look at it. Um, you see a lot of like faint blue, faint yellow, faint red, kind of running that gamut in stars. But I want to try and so I'm just gonna pepper in some little dots that have a little bit of color to them, but not much. Mostly just very bright or very white. Do I want these dots? I don't think I want these dots. Oh, I do. Okay, so I use these dots, but very, very, very small. Just a whisper. Okay. Not having fun with that though. So we're going to change it up to a very speckly little brush that I use even more often. It just kind of simulates, like if I blow it up, you can kind of see it even more directly, but like this paint splatter. But it works really well in this context. Usually cut down the opacity so that it's not so bright that it doesn't seem like a real sky, like the real effect of a star-filled galaxy. And then maybe I'll do a little bit of, I don't usually use this one. This is usually my this is like a watercolor brush that usually I do a little bit different with. I'm going to try it out because sometimes it works really well, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. So. But it does give like that, a little bit more of that like galaxy-like effect. Alright, let's get my reference back up. I'm just going to cut out my background real quick because it is distracting me. Use an eraser tool to kill off some of that background elements. Then we'll even be able to see the galaxy kind of sitting around me. Kind of see how we succeeded with that. Okay. Yeah. Don't look half bad. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the liberty to erase all that stuff that is coming up on me. So we don't want that in the actual image. Well, we're going to go back over it. Much like the background already, I was getting a little distracted by it, so I just want to get rid of it. Okay. Yeah. Let's see how this shakes out. I think I might tweak this a little bit just to see what happens. Oops. I'm going to undo that, dupe it, hide one, and then I'm going to do that again. So that actually looked pretty good. But I might hate it later when I'm trying to pick colors and stuff. Oh, you know what? Let's do a little more tweaking real quick. I just want to cool off the image a bit. Okay. Yeah, now we're looking at a very, like, much cooler kind of color palette here, and that's what I want. I'm gonna grab, let's see. This here is my usual, like, go-to. It has a nice sharp edge to it, so I can kind of line up the figure. But this synthetic round is actually very nice as well. I used to use this one a lot. Synthetic round, bristly one. But I'll give you an example of why I don't use it much anymore. Has a lot of like play in the line, you can see. So while the edge is sharp on one side, on the other it's not so sharp, and the center of it makes it really hard to like fill color because it's constantly wiping through with these big chunky kind of strokes, which for some things is great, but it's not what we're looking for today. That's why I was thinking about the synthetic round. This one, because you can see it blends really well. It's very even when it does so. So yeah, I think that's the way I want to go today. Let me just double check. I don't want to use this one. I don't know. A little unsure of myself today, I suppose. That to be expected, I guess. Been in a weird mood today. Alright, let's just pick some color, because I'm going to keep the cut of the shirt, the short sleeve. I'm going to keep the collar, but I'm going to change it to a flat color. Probably like a gray or a black, maybe a navy kind of blue, maybe a violet. Something dark, something cool. Yeah, let's actually pick a color. Let's go right in here. Where are we? Interesting. So we're closer to red on the spectrum. We're really dark. I don't want it to blend in too much to this background. So we're just going to bump that up a hair. I'm just going to do a really simple kind of, I'm trying to block this out really specifically, so let's just see how that turns out. Oh, I need to change the color background back to white so that I can reduce the opacity just a hair, so I can start knowing where my lines are when I put them down. Very helpful. Very helpful to know where you put your line. And when you're picking color, you can lose it in the background if you're not careful. What's my settings on this brush right now? Oh, that's why it's dragging paint everywhere. There we go. I want to keep that highlight in there. Going around it very carefully. Hope I don't forget to leave it in. Or go back into it later, rather. Go around the knuckles. Gotta reduce the size of the brush. I'm gonna fill that real quick. Alright. I'm just going over the dark parts of my busted ass knuckles. Alright, we'll come back to that. I know I seem like I'm going really fast here. Maybe I'll regret it later, but I think what I'm doing is I'm trying to quickly just block in a lot of this color. Let the God, I'm not okay. Just let the reference kind of do some of the heavy lifting for me of knowing I can post an image that I like, have the idea, I just want to get it out. One of the reasons I love digital art, because physical art, this does not ever happen this way for me. I've been working on a couple of colored pencil pieces, and wow, that shit can drive me up a wall. I love it. I love the medium, but really have to be prepared for the long haul when you start a colored pencil piece. In those kinds of situations, a lot of the time I start with the cheapo kind of Crayola pencils. Eventually, work my way up to the rapidly dwindling Prismacolor collection I have. Not that it's dwindling, but it's just like a lot of them are so small at this point. My most of the colors that I would use a lot, that you've seen me use in my compositions, purple, green, pink, those colors are quickly running out. Getting smaller and smaller every time. So yeah, if you're gonna get into colored pencil stuff, you have to just be prepared for that. It takes a long time to fill in big chunks of color. Let me just... Okay, yeah, doesn't look too messy. I think I'm fine. No, right. I always have that issue with this, but that's the trick has been doing the lowering the opacity. Is what I've come to kind of be my trick for it. It's just once you lower the opacity of the reference layer. Is that a cut or a crease? That is a cut on my hand from a cat. But yeah, once I figured that out, it was kind of at least a good starting point. I'm going to try and leave a little bit of a gap between the knuckles or the forearms and so they don't blend into each other. But yeah, even with that trick, I still end up drawing on my reference layer like at least once or twice per drawing. because sometimes you want to go in and well, for example, in a minute, I'm going to want to get a new color. So I'm going to have to switch over back to my reference layer, pick my color, then remember, after I do that, to go back to my drawing layer. So it can be, I fuck that up regularly, yeah. But the more you mess up, the more you don't want to ever do that again. Spend an hour or two working on a part that you're really happy with, and then you look and you're like, oh my god, it's on the fucking reference layer. I do that all too often. Okay, and I was gonna go back and fill this before I forget. Otherwise, I'll think, what was I doing over there? I want this a different color. And I'll do that, and I'll go insane because it was wrong. It was incorrect. And it looks not my favorite. But we're doing just fine today. Yeah, I didn't really think too much about the colors in this today. Or in the actual composition. In what I'm going to be drawing, I didn't think about the colors a lot today, and I might end up regretting that because everything I have planned is more or less in the same, like, part of the color wheel. Might have to get crafty and figure out ways to add little bits and bobs, make things a little bit more coherent. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. That looks like an arm. We're not doing too bad over here. Okay. Let's just, because it's in the foreground, I'm trying to remember how to, like, plan working on these kinds of things so that I don't end up, like, shooting myself in the foot before I get there. So I'm trying to go by, like, what is foremost in the frame, and then work my way backwards. Especially in digital, it feels like um, one of those things that I feel like really helps the process. So, like I was saying, I have to go back to my reference layer, bump up the opacity, back to 100, color pick, make sure I got that color pick. I don't want to go with the darkest parts, because that's like, it's close. Oh, right. Did I adjust the color wheel on this? I don't remember now. Oh, I did. I put it up from 4 to 8, so we have to make that adjustment as well. So, just bump it up a little bit from 24 to, let's say, 27. Damn. Alright. That looks pretty good. Huh? Kind of. I don't I don't know how effective my color math is, but it is what my brain do. Just because I'm trying to yeah, like I was saying a minute ago, trying to be careful about what my color selection is so stuff doesn't end up too muddy later on down the line. Okay. Had to check, make sure I was not on my reference layer. Yeah. I'm working with this program for years and years, and I still have those same moments that you were having, Sam, where it's like, wait, are you drawing on your reference? Don't do it, don't do it. Oh, right. Gotta bump the opacity up. Color pick. Adjust. Cool. I'm just trying to pump this out. You know, I'm especially on this layer, I'm gonna be doing a lot of blending, a lot of like um, kind of working these colors together. So I don't want to spend too much time on the general layout. And who knows, I might hate all of this and just delete it later on. So, you know, nothing's permanent. Time is an illusion. And art is supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, the fuck's the point? Alright, let's take a look at this. Jump it back to the black background I want. Okay. Now you get an idea of at least what some of this is going to look like once it's all fully fleshed out. I am excited about it. Alright, so we have our three main hand colors right here for this lighting setup. I'm going to go back to our reference, reduce down, and oh right, I want to bump up the background back to white so that's not giving me the same problems it would be I would be having if I wasn't reducing the opacity on my layers. See, I'm running into this. What's up? A little bit, yeah. Um, we got to get this mid-tone and the highlight back in. But I'm like looking at this area right here where I was talking about not wanting to make it too muddy, make sure the knuckles are kind of standing out above the wrist. Um, I want to make sure that I'm able to kind of like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to add a new layer underneath that. I'm just going to go in with the original color, which was, as you remember, very close to black. I didn't necessarily want to use it for my main color because it will blend too much into the background, but here it is perfectly appropriate. Oopsie. There we go. Hmm. Oh, it's just because it's so light. Okay. Because I had this red here. I was like, why is my black going right over the top of the red when I made it on an underlayer? But that's just because of the kind of blending that I did down there. Okay. And now while we're here, let's just pick this layer. Oh no. That's gonna get messy later, but we'll worry about that later. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Okay, you know, I'm just going to merge it right now so I don't have to worry about doing that later or forgetting to do that at all. And we want to pick that mid-tone. We're just going around the areas on these fingers that are, you know what, I am going to do this on an underlayer. Why bother making this harder on myself? Especially in this portion of the creation. Like I said, just trying to pump it out. Hmm. Yeah, we're just going to color it. Yeah. I go back in and add highlights in places where I feel like I maybe covered too much with this mid-tone layer. That's a problem for future Weston, not right now Weston. Hmm. Since we are going to be blending, I think I might just merge this immediately. Let's do it. Again, we might hate it later, but that's a problem for future me. Because we're gonna do another, flip on another layer here. And that's where we're going to finish out these fingies. This might be one that when I'm finishing it up, I go back in with my, I have my merged layers and I reduce the opacity on those so that I get a better idea of where I want to push the colors around, blend the colors, all that stuff. Might have been a little lazy with the midtone, but that's okay. Those are not pretty lines. Let's try that again. Oh yeah. It's cold out here in space. I mean, it's a little rough, but it's doing its job so far. It's funny, I have been thinking a lot about Elton John lately. I wonder, do I keep all of the, like, trademarked, licensed Magic the Gathering symbology? Do I just, like, I almost want to just keep it, like, just the circle, little dots, and, like, the kind of border, and just do away with all of this shit. Because I don't care about Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast. They've both proven over and over again that they're horrible, horrible companies. As much as they try and present themselves as kind and wonderful people, it's pretty clear they are not. But it is kind of like fan art. You can't draw Vash the Stampede and then just be like, well, it's not Trigon. I don't know if that's a proper analogy. I think you understand what I was saying, though. So, cards, yeah, the cards themselves, what do I want to do with that? Because that's, hey, Out of Spoons, thanks for following, we appreciate you. We're going till 7 tonight, doing this Magic the Gathering kind of, uh, an homage to Magic the Gathering, kind of like depicting, myself as my card-playing intergalactic wizard throwing spells at another one. Yeah. I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you're enjoying the stream. We'll be here for a while. Yeah, so got my new layer up. I'm just gonna, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to use the line tool because I want these to be at the end of the day, it's gonna help make sure everything's like looks like a card. Because fuck it. You know what? Absolutely, just let's just fuck it up. You know, let's see what happens. I was gonna say I'm not good at straight lines, but who is? Doesn't matter. Let's find out. Let's find out together. Oh, there I went, going into my background layer. Yeah, I'm gonna hate that later, so we're just gonna go use the line tool. Fair. There we go. That's what we want. I'm glad I'm doing this on a separate layer because I might really regret using this hard black color for this border. But it might work fine. Really, I can't tell yet. Trying to give it that rounded edge there. Can't do that with the line tool. Gotta jump in manually. Oh, right. Tiny brush. That will take forever. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to darken that up some. Ah! Drawing on the reference. Drawing on the reference! There we go. There we go. Yeah, we might be kicking ourselves later for this decision to use like this hard black here. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's on a it's on a separate layer. So I can even here, I'll just give you an example. I could just kind of like I did earlier, just adjust the oopsie, the advantages and disadvantages of working on your phone. But yeah, I can just adjust the lightness of the actual layer, so it'll be fine. I can always futz with it later. You can even add color in from that place. It's a little more difficult than on some programs, but I made it work. Oh, right. Alright, well this is a layer I should not merge. I need to remind myself that I don't want to merge this because it might want a little bit of rim lighting. And that's how we'll make that black work. Yeah. So remind me, chat, don't let me draw on, or don't let me merge my layer. This layer specifically. I need you to hold me accountable, chat. Don't let me down. I'm getting so sloppy with this line tool that I might as well have just used my finger. It's fine. No, this is not even a problem. I'm just doing... This is a current Weston problem because I am overreacting. So that's an entirely different kind of Weston problem. Like I said, today's been kind of weird. Not my best mental health day, but we're streaming, we're dreaming, we're scheming, and we're memeing. That's right. Just gave you guys some poetry. It's a service we offer here at Live with Lava Sub. Occasionally you will just get poetry. I'm a natural performer, what can I say? I think at this point I should I need to remind myself to thank our wonderful producer Sam for putting up with me. Making sure I have a place to go on Tuesdays so I don't go completely mad alone. Thank you, Sam. So W in chat for Sam. If you're there, give Sam a W. They've earned it. Yeah, yeah. The good old yeah, it oh man. You know what's funny about predictive stroke is it's the worst tool on this program. Like I've never been able to get it to do anything right. Let me just try and do this curved line here. Like this is it's most predictive-y. It doesn't do anything. It does not adjust my lines after I make them. Oh, it did that one. Big long line. Actually, that kind of worked all right. Maybe I've been talking too much shit about this. Nope. Nope, it sucks. Yeah, I don't use this tool hardly ever. No, hardly ever is an overstatement. I never use that tool. Um, but when you started talking about predictive stroke, I thought you were going to make a dirty joke, and you would be right. I think that more often than I go to that as a tool that I want to use. That black line ended up a lot thicker than the other ones, but that's... I don't care. It's fine. I don't care that much. Oh, right, okay. I'm wondering... Now we'll get there. Marvelous. My very functional charger is telling me it's at 85%. Can you see that? Oh, that's so good. Okay, fantastic. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I should turn on Do Not Disturb so that I don't get interrupted while I'm doing this. Okay, well, let's take a look at what this, without the reference layer. Dang. Alright, well, I was so worried about this hard black. It's, how did I not notice it wasn't even a hard black? This is a gray. What am I doing? Alright, well that might work just fine. Oh, they disappear though. Maybe it is. Why is that happening? If they're not black, they should be standing out. Let's dupe them. Dupe it again. There we go. Let's merge all those. This is okay. Don't tell me not to merge. That's okay to merge. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, I must have grabbed a color when I didn't, not realizing it earlier. Let me draw. What are you doing? Is it locked? Oh, that's what happened. I locked it by mistake. One of the rare occasions where locking my layer actually doesn't let me draw on it. Maybe I'll just preemptively lock this one. Maybe I will save myself some headache later. Okay, we've got our cards kind of lined up. Oh, right, I remember what I was trying to do. I wanted to put a nice dark line underneath here. If I darken this up. Nope, I don't like that. This is fine. Oh, right, I changed brushes. Okay. Now we have to make a creative decision. Do I wanna... No, I don't want to do lettering. That's end of that thought. I don't want to do any fucking lettering. No, thank you. think I will just color pick directly from the cards though, because I want to make sure I get the right amount of kind of like cool aspects from the reference. You know what? I'm actually going to switch back to that brush because it makes nice little circles. Let's change the settings. I could do that. Then I would be no better than fake AI. And I talk way too much shit about it for that to be okay. Let's darken that just a hair. Yeah. Oh shit. Eek. Okay. I make a boo-boo. Gonna just undo a few of those markings. Did I do it? There we go. Because I was at reduced opacity, making the colors not stand out as much. So now I won't even have to adjust to color. It'll just be the right color. Interesting. Sorry if anybody's getting nauseous with how much I'm zooming around this canvas. My deepest apologies. That's supposed to be black, but that's gonna come out looking like very maroon crimson. Oh, well, maybe not. No, yeah. I think it's like what's the word? Like when the colors are adjacent to each other, they throw off not just your eye, but like a camera. I can't remember. Relativity, thank you. Color relativity. Oh, I must have put some markings on there. I didn't mean to. Uh-oh. Shit, they're on my reference layer. It's fine. We know that those little blue squiggles don't exist. Just going to piss me off. Well, let's see if I can use my circle tool here. I don't make good circles. I'm a human. It's kind of canted though, so a lot of the time this won't work if the angle's not flat. This is working okay though. Flat enough, it says. And okay, got that down. Let's cool. Okay. Hmm. Looks okay. Oops. Let's go back. Gimme. Okay. So I want to blend this so that it's a little bit more even. Yeah, like that. And then, shit, should I just fill tool here? I mean, shit, we could try it, right? Yeah, I mean, I think it just has like kind of a more mystical-y look, aside from the whole uh, perspective of, not wanting the stupid like label on there. I think it just like adds a certain level of mystery and that like you know what it is, but this is a more aesthetic version of it. There we go. Let's take a look. Ooh, okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Oh, okay. I was gonna keep futzing, but that looks perfect. I'm just gonna keep going now. Could probably bring the drawing tool back in. I'm just gonna try and nail this freehand. It'll be a little less trouble, I think. Pull that line tool back out. Just do a quick highlight on here. Yeah. And we need to hit that inside. Oh, forgot to increase the opacity so we get the right color pick there. Come on. There we go. Alright. This is just going to get easier and easier. Less and less circles. Less and less highlight. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just grab a new one. Yep. On the reference layer. There we go. At least once per drawing, we have to go onto the reference layer like a absolute buffoon. Oh no! I forgot the little doots. I forgot the little doots on the last one. Gotta get the doots. Okay, still at 100. Let's bump that up. Okay. There we go. Looks great. Moving on. Make sure we get it in this time. I'm sure I'm going to put it in the top layer so I don't have to worry about going over it. So I'm actually going to push them all in real quick, because I will continue to forget. I don't want to have to keep going back. That'll reduce some of the effort there. Am I still at 100 on this? I keep forgetting whether or not I changed it, so I have to keep checking. It's a little annoying, I apologize. There we go. Could have like started with the face or something. Made this a little bit more intriguing. But the face is like the jewel of the head. So we get to do it last as like a little treat. Don't quote me on that. Please never quote me on saying that the face is the jewel of the head. I think that's one of the worst things I've ever said. It's the most arty dumb thing I've said in a very long time. So please forgive me. Okay. Oh good, I keep not changing my opacity, so color picking is easy. But then I keep doing the motions anyway, so is it that easy? I keep checking. And I'm on my reference. Let's stop doing that. Ugh. Glad I checked that. Too many holes. Hmm. Kinda dope though. Yeah. We're still early on and I'm already having this much fun with it. I think might be onto something here. Okay, on the right layer. Hmm. Hmm. Isn't that strange? I thought that was my paintbrush lines. That is just natural digital photography artifacting. Well, at least now we know where to add some shadow. What is happening? Why am I able to go? Oh, I see now. I was really struggling. I was like, what is happening? Why am I able to go over the dark lines I made already? That shouldn't be like that. I mean, damn it. I knew it was too bright. Okay. Fuck. Okay. It's dope. I like it. Yeah. Alright. Okay. I'm happy with that. Trying to think if I should add any creative changes to the table. Or if it was like a purpley glass. Like a... Or like a... Oh god, I just thought marble. Talking about making myself more work. Ah, damn. Yeah, if I don't fuck with that, I don't even have to put shadow in. It's there. As long as I don't go underneath the background of these cards. Okay. Why didn't I want to move the, get rid of these, merge these layers? Right! Okay, I remember now. It was gonna be a very subtle rim light at the top of these cards to distinguish it from my bird. I knew that was gonna be an issue later. I could do that on my little painty layer. I'm just gonna snag one color. I don't wanna keep finding a new one for every card. Gonna go down. Down, down, doodle-doodle-doo. I don't know that song. I like that band. I don't know why it's popping in my head. If I went full Akira, it would be because of bad pop songs that I can't get unstuck from my head. So if you ever see me turn into a gelatinous monster rampaging through the city, you know it was because I had a Fall Out Boy song stuck in my head or something. Yeah, my bitch. That looked pretty good. Okay. Moving on. I guess I should lay out this shirt real quick. Then I have to figure out which of these colors I want it to look. I want it to. What I want to paint it with effectively. Alright, that's the next. Maybe I'll do the. Do I need to do the head first? Yeah, so that underneath the head is the shirt. Okay. The face is. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for reminding me of the thing I said. That is very cool and very smart. Uh, the face is the jewel of the head. You can quote me on that anytime. I'm not embarrassed by it at all. Uh, there is something wrong with the phrase. I'm not entirely sure what, but I hated it when I said it. So for me, it's a no. Give me color, 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 pure color. Okay, that was over. Where the fuck did I just pull that out of? Okay, it was over here, right? Yes. So this will be closer to the mid-tone. That's very bright. Maybe that'll be my highlight color. Unless I want to make it this one. Oopsie. Let's see what this looks like. Don't love it. Nope. Get rid of them. All three. Get rid of those damn colors. I don't want them. They don't work. Yeah. Yeah. I just... You know what? What was that red color I had pulled up? Because I didn't hate that. There we go. It's nice kind of brownish, coppery color. Let's just start a new layer. Let's just fill. See what it looks like. Oops, that's too big. Let's fill this in. Just see what it's looking like against the background and all that. Then we'll figure out if it's the right color after that. I'm not trying to make it perfect. Just enough to get it in there. I can kind of see if I'm going to like it with like the colors I've got selected so far. And then I can even use my fancy tool, kind of trade around the colors and see which ones are going to work better here. Oopsie. Yeah, I don't like it. That's a little better. No, I like this blue-green. That's what I want. What do you call a dark teal? You got me. Alright, well, we're going to delete that layer anyway. And then we're going to erase that thing that we did on our card layer that I didn't mean to do. Goodbye. Then I have to remake new layer. And now we're doing shirt stuff. So I want to make sure I have a color reference. Oopsie. No! Forgot to color pick. There we go. There we go. So I'm just putting that down just so I have a reference for it if I need to pull it up later. Because we're going to need to go a little bit darker. We're going to go down. That's funny. On that same 4 to 8 as we were doing on the hand. So it almost makes me feel like we're on the right track at least. And let's go up to like, I don't know. That's too much. Too much. 8, 9, 10, 12. Let's do 15. Let's reduce the saturation though. Yeah, that's our highlight. Okay, cool. Might get real finicky with this, but trying not to. I just want to make sure I've got all of this wonderful shape. It's a little wrinkly, my shirt. Or maybe that's just... No, it's wrinkly. That's okay, though. I'm just trying to map out where I'm going to want all these colors. I was going to start with shadow, but let me start with highlight and see if that makes my brain happier. I usually go from dark to light, but it always drives me a little bit insane, so maybe I can avoid chewing on my own teeth today. Maybe we'll take a little break in a minute because I've been just jamming nonstop for, wow, geez, it's already 5:11? So a little over an hour now. Take a quick break. I'll show you some of the stuff I've been doing in colored pencil. And I'm going to go pee at some point. I know I need to do that eventually. Peeing is good. Don't hold your pee. Okay, you get all kinds of health conditions if you hold your pee. Take it from me. Your friendly neighborhood punk rock goblin. Mm-hmm. Goblin, goblin, does whatever it fucking wants. Just a little song popped into my head just for you guys. Thank you, Sam. Oh, it's so shapy. I like this shirt a lot. I think I've talked about it on stream before. I got this shirt from my buddy Ross when we it was my pretty sure it was either my 25th or my 30th birthday. Me and a few of my friends went up to Sonoma County, or not Sonoma County, that's where we lived. Went up to Redding and made a movie with some of my old buddies that me and Zach used to make movies with back when we were just little babies. And our buddy Ross brought this shirt to wear. He was kind of like your unreliable, what's that show or that movie? It's like a very unreliable narrator detective story. I think it was like Inherent Vice or something like that. Joaquin Phoenix was the lead. I think it was from like a it was adapted from a crime novel. I can't remember what, but this was way before that movie came out. And Ross created this character very much like the one from that movie. What's this? I mean, me and a friend of mine had spent some time like writing out a outline and stuff like that, kind of getting a rough idea for everyone, for the characters, for the story, what we would be shooting. But we never have scripts. Scripts are something that make my brain hurt writing, so I don't do that. I don't write scripts. I should write more of them, but I just can't. Like, I have such a hard time dedicating the time and effort it takes to do it. Performing scripts, I love that. Memorizing scripts, I can even do that. But for some reason, writing a script is just, oh, I get the shakes just thinking about it. Um, it's funny because I used to write scripts. I've got a couple screenplays that I had completely written out, but not anything I'd want to make anymore. Definitely more the vibe of me when I was like in my 20s and drunk scumbag. Didn't know enough about the world yet to make the kind of art I would make now. But Scupa Sketty was just one of our fun little movies that we were going to improv. So we had an outline, we had these characters, and this is the shirt Ross brought for Detective Scupa Sketty, the ex-cop, ex uh, detective for the police who grew disenfranchised with them, or grew uh, to hate working that job, and decided he would strike out for his own private investigation business with his buddy, and experienced all kinds of betrayals and backstabbing, and it was a fun little movie. I still have it. You can actually find it on YouTube, but it's a little bit difficult to find. Um, Hit me up on socials if you want to see it. I'll swing you the link. Um, I would ask. I would. Uh, I don't think even if I tried to describe it, I don't think I'd be able to have it pulled up for you in chat by the end of the stream today. It's pretty difficult to find. Um, so yeah, just hit me up on my socials. I'll swing it to you that way if you are really interested. There is like half an hour worth of just bloopers that I thought I edited out when I uploaded it, but they're in there. Oh, I'm gonna switch back to the other brush I was using earlier. So yeah, yeah, Scupa Sketty was a fun one. Definitely some like weird edgy moments that probably didn't age super well, but we had a lot of fun making it. Um, and I'm still pretty proud of it. Like it's one of those things where you go up and you have all these plans and you know exactly what you want to do, and then it's a party, and some of the things you intended to do don't get done. And I kind of made that movie more in editing than I did on set with a camera. I feel like I made a lot of smart choices that make me feel pretty confident in my abilities as a director, as a filmmaker. But if I'm being real, I mean, the thing that made me feel the most accomplished, the most proud of my abilities, was my ability to make what we had, which was very minimal work in an edit. Yeah, there's a lot of power in editing. I don't think everybody knows that. But editing can be one of the, uh, in this case, it was the way to save a movie that was otherwise kind of unsalvageable. You know, we didn't have a story. We had pieces of it. And through the edit, I realized that there were certain things I could do to kind of trick you into thinking there was more in this story than there actually was. Focus on the performances, focus on the absurdity of it all in some ways. Very I mean, end of day, it's very like student film, art art film, college film, whatever you want to call that genre of filmmaking, but you know, it's messy, it's artistic, it's kind of slapdash, but it makes you feel things. In fact, shout out to the homie Zach, because honestly, his performance in it makes so much of that movie work. He's Zach knows what he's good at, and in this case, he was cast as the villain because I love seeing Zach be the villain. He's really good at it. He tends to let himself go a little more than when he's just trying to be silly and fun. So Zach gave one of the best monologues I've ever shot on camera in that movie. He's actually really good in it, and he's just improvising. It makes it all the more impressive to me. God damn, I can't believe I haven't thought of this, but Zach's up in Reading. I gotta remember to tell him to. Shit, he probably doesn't have enough time. Yeah, what's that? Scupasketty, Dick for Hire. You found it? How did you even know how to spell it? Oh my god. Can you actually just put that up while I go pee? Like play like a section from the middle or something? It's all there's no music in it because the music got us DMCA'd. We had to take it all out. Um I spent so much time on the score for that, just scoring with pop music. I spent a lot of time editing this movie. Uh yeah, you know what? Actually, the first few minutes there's like the most kind of like abstract. There's not even really dialogue for the first couple minutes. So, is that possible? Yeah, yeah. Don't sweat it for right now. Maybe the second break we'll have it. It'll be ready by then. But yeah, um, I'm not quite ready to. You know what? I should probably go. I have to pee. So yes, break screen is fine. I will be right back. All right, buds. So, you might have heard me talking to myself for a minute. Basically, Sam somehow, very quickly, pulled up Scupasketty Dick for Hire, the movie we made. Do you have the date when it was put out? So 6 years ago, I would have been Oh, this was so it was my 30th. It was my 30th birthday we were there for. Damn, that's so wild. Yeah, some of those people I don't even talk to anymore. But you'll find some familiar nerd crafty faces there. Oh no, Shane and Matt, neither of them were in it. But you'll see Ronnie, aka Bluegill Billy, is one of the stars of that film. Ronnie is actually a really incredible actor as well. Although I'm sure if you saw any of the Ironhearts, you would already know that. Um, and yeah, Ronnie plays two or three different characters in that movie. God, yeah. It was a fun one. Unfortunately, we lost a lot of our old movies with different hard drives and computers. I mean, we've been making movies together since we were all just babies, you know. Uh, yeah. So unfortunately, some of those movies are lost. I'm very lucky that we still have this one hanging around. Especially because, like, Zach was like, dude, we shouldn't put this up until you have credits in it. I was like, I'll put that in there later. We'll upload a new version. I just want this out on the internet. I had spent weeks and weeks editing the film. I just wanted it to be done. Um, so, for the longest time, I thought it was lost. I thought Zach had taken it down because there weren't credits, because the music got DMCA'd. And then, I think a while ago, after we were working on Nerdcrafty stuff together, he was like, I think it came up, and I was like, "Yeah, too bad we lost all the movies." And he was like, "Well, that still exists." And I was like, "No, it doesn't. You took it down." And he was like, "Nope." Sent me the link. Yeah, pretty proud of the work we did there. I mean, it's silly, it's absurd, it's edgy, but it's pretty fucking good for what it is. Maybe. I almost would want. So Sam asked if we want to do a react on stream next week to it, and I'm kind of into it, but I kind of want Zach there. I kind of want Ronnie there. So maybe I'll get in touch with those two. I know Zach is probably not going to be able to do it, but we'll see if Ronnie can. Poor Zach. Yeah, if Zach's been having a lot of housing issues over the last year. Kind of unbelievable if you knew the whole story. I feel terrible for the guy. So if you have it, if you are capable, uh, please go buy some of our Nerdcrafty shirts, the Iron Hearts ones, and the proceeds of that go to Zach and try and help him out of this messy, fucked up situation that he's in. That is entirely not even his fault. I feel terrible for the guy. It's just, he doesn't deserve it. Zach's one of the best people I know, so seeing him in a rough situation breaks my heart. I want some point of that man's life to be a little less of an uphill struggle than it's been for so much of it. He deserves it. So, if you are able to, go buy one of them Ironheart shirts and maybe throw some money into our Patreon, become one of our patrons on Patreon, and that'll help Zach too. So that goes to all of us nerd crafters. Yeah. Um, so we'll see if we do a stream on it. Also, I'm curious what you, my friends in the audience, would think about that. Let me know if that's something that would interest you as well. That'll affect the decision making as well. Mm, do I care? Oopsie. It's just this slight little indent. Do I care about that? No, I don't. I don't care about it. If I care about it later, I care about it later, but that's a future Weston problem. Future Weston problems. Maybe that's what we'll change the name of the segment to. We've been thinking about changing the name of Live with Lava Sub to Art and Anarchy or anARTchy. I think I've talked about the last couple of streams. Let me know what you think about the change of the name, because, Live with Lava Sub's fine and everything, but with how I tend to run my mouth and how much I like to talk about current events and stuff like that, I feel like, and my perspective, I feel like Art and Anarchy might be a good change for kind of stuff that I make. Let me know what you think. Speaking of current events, I don't know if anybody's a Hasanabi head, but I sure as hell am. And he has been in Japan for the last couple days, and oh my god, I want to fucking go so bad. I worked with an actor, very talented lady named Lisa, who does really fantastic cosplays. You can find Lisa is Sad on Facebook, or on Instagram, and on uh, TikTok. They do really great stuff, the cosplays, and they're a very talented actor. I got to work with them a few years ago. One of my first, maybe my first feature ever. But got to know her fairly well. We spent a lot of time on screen together, so we hung out quite a bit. And Lisa goes, I think, around usually about once a year. She has family there, and I think it would be fun to. It's always a place I've been interested in going. Damn, this section's giving me a headache. I don't know where to put the highlights here because all of that color is kind of dodging the, like, it's like harder to figure out what's highlight and what's highlight in the shirt, like, because there's so much in the print, and what is a highlight from the light. I think I'm figuring it out. Let's just start going here. There we go. I think we basically got it from there. It all looks like mid-tone. So I'm gonna just, yeah, that looks right. Okay, let's fuck with that mid-tone. Or should I do shadow and then mid-tone? That's really the question. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do shadow first. So I can hit all those areas that are basically black. Just smash some dark teal. I don't know if that's a real thing. Smash some of that in there. Call it good. Oh, that's part of the friggin' thumb, Weston. How did I miss that? Alright, we're gonna go back real quick to the hand. I know I probably shouldn't, but I'm doing it. Because this is gonna drive me nuts if I don't. Molto bene. Ooh, okay. Now that the shadows are going in, I'm actually getting really excited about this. They're gonna look fire. They're gonna have to purchase this shit from me because they want it on some merch. Hasbro's gonna give me $230,000 for this drawing. Can that be the title? Hasbro, pay me $230,000 for this drawing. It's good. I deserve it. It's the name of this stream. No! I put that on my top layer. It's okay. I realized there's more of the flesh tones that I forgot to do around the forearm. Although I think that's just like hair. Oh shit. Okay, cool. Okay. Eh. We're doing it. Perfect. Okay. Now back to this layer. Color. Okay, cool. We're back. Back on track. Scott's cat is making big meows. Big cry cry. Big boohoos. I've never met a cat that made me feel more guilty. I didn't even do anything, and I'm still like, no, let me help you. What's wrong? It's like one of those. It's like not intentional, but what's the word? It's like an evolutionary kind of trait where it's like like domestic cats meow like almost mimicking human babies, so that we pay attention to them. Could be wrong on this. I am stupid, but I think I remember reading something like that to that effect. Yeah, that's okay. That's totally the context I learned that in, is that they're not meowing to communicate with each other, they're meowing to uh, communicate their needs to us. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna look so dope. Okay. I'm glad I chose this kind of teal color. I think that's gonna work really well with the almost like grayish purple tones of the hands. And what I'm gonna use those same tones for the face. Luckily, I only have half of my face visible, so a little less work for me there. Oh, big stretch. Might as well just throw in this color all the way over. There's a little bit of highlight that's going to peek through the hair here, but mostly it's just going to be hair. That's not even, I mean, maybe a little highlight, but mostly mid-tone there. Let me just cut off the ends there. Here we go. Perfect. Flash, tone, real little brush. Get that. There we go. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay. I had a whole separate layer for uh, my shadow layer, and I forgot I did that. So I've been going into the highlight layer for the last little bit. That's okay. It's only most of what I just did. It's fine. Because what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna merge, and then I'm gonna start a new layer, and we'll just keep going. The reason I wanted to do that though is so I could get rid of the highlight layer for the moment. Focus on this shadow. All right, let's bring it back up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Pretty good. Um, hmm. Maybe I should have done the midtones first. Hmm. No, this is fine. Damn. Okay. It's okay. Just my nervous breakdown sounds. Damn, did you hear that? My neighbor's been like playing bowling in his apartment. Not neighbor, my upstairs neighbor. Swear to God, they're like the least aware person that's ever been an upstairs neighbor in the history of upstairs neighbors. I guess everybody would say that about their upstairs neighbor, but swear to God, this person has never been one of the people in the lower levels in an apartment building. They suck. That's good. At least the mic's not picking it up. Oh shit. Oh, that is the deck going off the table. Is that going to be compositionally necessary to even care about? I don't know. Yeah, it will be. I'm going to just accommodate now before I forget. I should probably go back into my hand and card layers to work all of that out, but I'm on a roll with this shadow layer right now, and I don't want to quit yet. Man. That's where I was before I moved to the bottom of the shirt. So I'm still not entirely sure I'm going to handle that. Coffee. Oh geez, what time is it? It's already like close to 6? Fuck. Alright, last sip of coffee. Let's make it count. Okay. No more coffee for me tonight. I was up till like 4 a.m. last night. I never do that anymore. I think that's part of why today's been so fucking weird. Word to the wise. Something I've learned from my long life of being me. If you're already depressed, don't stay up till 4 a.m. Tell you what, it definitely makes you feel like you're more isolated from the rest of the world. Not less. So if you're depressed, like I am, Try not to do that. It's not helping you. Then again, you're not me. Maybe it does help you. I don't fucking know. I'm an idiot, and I will tell you over and over again that is the case. Although part of why I was up so late is why I was rewatching all of Detectives. Which, if you haven't seen it, is one of the best things the internet ever made, created, put out, housed, whatever. The Drawfee channel is one of my big inspirations, and Detectives is so fucking good. So me and my partner started rewatching. Finished season 1 last night. Forgot how fucking good it was. And then started season 2. I think made it an episode or so in. No, that's right. We made it like 20 minutes into the first episode. Realized that they had done the one shot at some point not too long before, and wanted to make sure we didn't forget what happened in that one shot. Luckily, nothing happened in one shot. I think just a way for them not to like have to have like a ton of stuff to do. And well, no, Julia worked her ass off for that episode, so I don't know. But yeah, it was a very fun little one shot. I don't want to give anything away if you haven't seen it, but it's been up for friggin' 3 years or something, so you should have seen it if you're cool. Don't you want to be cool? Watch Drawfee. That's how you be cool. All the cool kids watch Drawfee. Oh, you know what? This is a good use of my time having this small platform. Uh, I was having a thought today. My parasocial hot take. Are you guys ready for this? So, of all of my weird thoughts and desires for content that I'm not making, the one that like has stuck around in my head for the last few days is the idea that Josh from Mythical Kitchen and Hasanabi really should do a collab. They're kind of the perfect match in that they're a little bit like they're very similar in kind of how they present their material, but they're also so different that I think the contrast would be really interesting. Uh, they both are very funny dudes when they want to be, especially Josh. I mean, San's not that funny. But yeah, that's my parasocial hot take. If anyone uh, has the connect, you should tell them about my idea and then give me all the credit. I think that would be uh, content I would ever miss. Content that wouldn't miss. To use the parlance of our times. This is why I have no pull on the internet. I use phrases like that. I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay. I've got a lot of these big ol' spaces filled in for shadow. I guess I want to finish all of the just kind of outline of the shadow before I get too far into next step. Yeah, I'm excited. I can pretty close here. Pull up that highlight layer. What's going on? Yeah, that's gonna be fine. Okay. Keep going. Oh my goodness. It's just flowers. Okay, just keep going. You're almost there. Nothing is ever perfect, right? And this is not this is not the perfection layer. This is the get all the colors down layer. Okay. Sam's got a question. What's the question, chat? Or Sam? Oh no, you don't have a Michael's nearby? I mean, Michael's isn't any better, but that's the one I always went to. Um, God, I hate both. I guess Hobby Lobby isn't as big a company as Amazon, so probably Amazon. Yeah, God, out there in Nevada, you guys don't have like, you don't have like a local art store like we had in like Sonoma County, right? Riley Street and. Ooh. Um, yeah, I guess Hobby Lobby, even though they're a terrible company, they're like one of the ones that pay. They're like one of the companies that donate heavily to Republican political campaigns, right? True. Okay. So that sucks. But you know, is it worse than Jeff Bezos? No. I mean, very little is as bad as Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Are the people that own this streaming platform. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. That's where my brain goes. Is that Amazon has done untold horrible things in the way of reducing the amount of like small businesses. So comparatively, Hobby Lobby is like, you know, it's like basically a mom and pop compared to Amazon.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Are they though? No, I mean
Yeah.
obviously, but
I'm
yeah,
basically
damn.
picking which is the lesser of two. I'm basically picking which is the lesser of two evils at this point.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah. Although I can say that like at least um, some of the things that they create through the Amazon. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, because I'm assuming you already have like a Prime account. We stream on Twitch. Like, we already have so much money going into the hands of Amazon that, like, Hobby Lobby is almost like harm reduction.
Yeah, I guess I could see it that way. That will make me feel better about going there tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry to pick the one that makes you walk, though. I feel bad about that.
No, exercise is good. It's good for
It is.
me. Fresh
Okay.
air, vitamin D, all that good stuff.
As long as you're into that, that's, I know
Well,
some days it's like the difference of me going out or not going out is like, well, the thing I need to go to is close. Like, I don't know if you noticed earlier when I was on camera for the stream, but my left eyelid is like swelling.
oh
I should
no.
probably go to the doctor, but my primary care provider is like 35 miles away, and we are broke as broke.
Oh dear.
So, like, trying to get there, even on public transportation, is going to be like kind of prohibitively expensive for us. So I called the like we have through Medicare we have the nurse
Yeah,
advice
the like
hotline or
dial a
whatever.
nurse thing.
Yeah, yeah, and I use that a lot.
It's good. Use it.
And
Like if
yeah,
like seriously, if people have that, use it because it will save you a trip a lot of the time to the emergency room.
exactly. Yeah, especially with how paranoid and kind of hypochondriatic is that the right word?
Sure. You know what? Shakespeare made up words, now you do too.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, my dad was legitimately a hypochondriac, and I definitely have picked up some of those behaviors. So yeah, having that resource available has definitely saved me a lot of money going to the emergency room for things that I don't actually need to go to the emergency room for. Damn, I need to brighten up my screen. I can't fucking see what I'm doing. That helps. Okay. And that doesn't affect what you guys are seeing, right?
No, it changes absolutely nothing for us.
Good. But yeah, I talked to the nurse advice hotline, and they were like, yeah, I mean, if your eye's not like red and puffy, or not red and like the eyeball itself isn't like uh, blurry or showing real signs of like infection, don't worry about going to the doctor. Just try and go to the pharmacy of like your big box or shop or grocery and um, ask if they have any recommendations for products for people in your situation, and they'll be helpful. So we went to Ralph's. The guy at Ralph's was an absolute fucking prick, and I wanted to punch him in the face. And so we left and we went to Target, and the guy at Target was actually a real big sweetheart, which was the opposite of how I thought that would work out, because I worked at Target, and a lot of the people I worked with were pricks, so...
You know, to be honest, if I worked at a place called Ralph's, I might be a little irate all the time, too.
It's so funny. Yeah, when I was little, we came down here for pilot season, and my mom, God bless her, my mom has the weirdest and sometimes grossest sense of humor, so that, like, Ralph's, whenever she would say it, she couldn't say it with a straight face or normally. She would always say it like she was vomiting, like, Ralph's. Like she was Ralphing. Because when she was a kid, that was the common expression for
Yeah.
puking.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing, for sure.
So, yeah. That was... the first time I knew about Ralph's was when my mom was making puke jokes about Ralph's. So that's always in my head now. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. They're also part of the Kroger
Yeah.
grocery...
Umbrella
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
and that place sucks to work for. Everybody says so. So yeah, I could understand not being very happy about being at your job when you have to work there. But people at the pharmacy, I was just really upset. Like I'd been there I got my COVID shots at that pharmacy, and I thought they would be really helpful because sometimes they have been really helpful. But guy was just being a real prick, not wanting to offer any assistance, not wanting to give me any amount of time to talk to him. Made me feel like I was rushed and rushed out even of the store. So I just wanted to make him kiss my knuckles. I didn't though.
You hear that, Ralph's guy? Do you hear what you did? I know you were probably having a bad day, but attitude does kind of matter when you work in customer service.
It wasn't even like he was being like real like mean. He was just like unwilling to be helpful, like unwilling to provide service, unwilling to answer any questions relating to my medical, like what was going on with my condition, like, or even just guide me to like something that would have, because there's over-the-counter things exactly for what's going on in my eye right now. As long as it's not infected, there's a couple of over-the-counter things that have like low levels of antiseptic, and the one I have is like a homeopathic eye drops that have like a low level antibiotic in it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really not, because our healthcare system is so fucked. It's really hard to find antibiotics over the counter because they want you to pay full fucking price for them. So I was really glad to have heard from the nurse lady that I called. She was telling me, in this case, you should be able to find something. Just ask the person at the pharmacy. And that dude wouldn't even let me get a full sentence out without interrupting me, just being like, no, we don't have antibiotics over the counter. No, we don't have anything like that. And like, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Because it's Ralph's, all of their like medicine is locked up, and like, not even just locked up. So I don't know who else has like a grocery that's like this, but basically there's like two aisles that are like household items. Some of them drugs, some of them like cleaning supplies. And they're not only locked up, but they're blocked. You can only enter one way and exit one way, and they want you to pay at the register in front of those at the entry to that section, so that you can't, fine finger discount your way to to health and well-being. So
Well, I think
shit, I lost my train of thought. But yeah.
I think part of the antibiotics thing is like people become resistant to, or let the bacterium become resistant to the antibiotics, the ones that cause illnesses, and like like you were saying, there's a lot of hypochondriac people out there, and if they had like just access at their will to these antibiotics, they're going to be giving themselves so much that eventually they're just going to end up killing themselves because whatever germs are out there, they've caused them to be like these crazy superbugs. So I can understand like needing them to be a little bit regulated.
True. I mean, I just it's definitely one of those things where
I'm not saying Big Pharma isn't involved.
No, I'm just saying hypochondria is it's a condition, and that definitely needs to be something that, like, my dad was never seen, like, by a therapist or anything else for hypochondria, and that's its own, it's its own, like, intersection of why the American healthcare system doesn't help people, is there exclusively for profit, etc., etc. Like, absolutely. The idea that people could just go out and get antibiotics and become essentially not immune, what's the word, where it's no longer effective, like you were saying. But it's also, it's not necessarily the fault of the people who are seeking out those over-the-counter antibiotics. It's
Well,
the lack
let's.
of medical knowledge. It's the lack of
it's
actual ease of getting care when you need it. It's the difficulty seeing a doctor. It's the
yeah.
difficulty getting medication.
Well, Western medicine is just a shitstorm. We know this.
Sure.
We know that already, like, 50% of the population is likely to be ignored when they talk about their symptoms because medicine has always been geared more towards male health than female health. And we know that because it is not easy to access doctors in the US, it makes it very hard to also access very simple basic medicines that should be available to all people when they need it. Like
Absolutely.
the whole thing with the antibiotics is it should not be a difficult prescription to get. You should be able to see a doctor readily and easily so that you can get those prescriptions that you need. It's not that it needs to be deregulated, it's just that it needs to be properly prescribed and available to those that need it.
Totally. Absolutely. Because healthcare is so difficult to access, those, hypochondriacs and people who are, I mean, even just people who are too broke at the moment, kind of like in my situation right now, where it's like, I can't afford to go to my primary health care provider. Why couldn't somebody working at a pharmacy who knows enough to be working at a pharmacy, kind of be able to kind of be that intermediary, have the ability to prescribe low-level medications like antibiotics, depending on the situation. I think part of that, tying once again into the profit motive, is like liability issues, because they're not the companies don't want to assume the liability of, if anything went wrong, potentially being sued for like malpractice or shit like that, which ultimately is just circling the same. Yeah, we're just circling the same topics over and over again, because ultimately what it comes down to is the healthcare system in the United States is fundamentally not just broken, but one that is built on a hierarchy, one that is inherently unequal, one that is the expectation of being able to be profitable more than it is be helpful. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like back in the 1800s, the pharmacists were allowed to prescribe, but like that also, like, in order to prescribe you have to diagnose, and there's all where it gets like really sticky because like it's very easy to misdiagnose things if you don't know what you're talking about.
Sure. And like we all know how nepotism is so fundamental in so many U.S. businesses, that like the pharmacist's nephew or son or daughter or whatever is gonna maybe make worse decisions than a regular doctor. But yeah, I mean, for things like antibiotics, it almost is almost doesn't make any sense for it to not be more easily accessed.
Doctors in
Sorry
general
if we're not
just
making any sense right now. I'm so
Oh,
lost
no.
in this shirt.
It's okay. No, you still make sense. Don't worry. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
So,
I think we've come to the consensus that we need more easily accessible doctors.
yeah, I think during the pandemic there was a lot more telemedicine happening. I actually was able to access some telemedicine through my Medi-Cal, and there was a couple of instances where they didn't even just like, where they were able to go above and beyond what,
Mm-hmm.
would have been done at a doctor's office. Like, one of the appointments I had over the phone with a doctor early on in the pandemic was uh, I had an appointment. Shit, I don't even remember what it was for, but I had an appointment set up with a doctor, and the day of our appointment was the day I got fired from Target.
Oh my
uh,
gosh.
so she calls. I had like been fired for approximately 2 hours, and I'm like, she calls and I'm like panicking. I'm in tears. She's like, "What's?" And before she's like, you know, like her concern wasn't about like the appointment anymore. Her concern was about me, and she was like, "What's going on in your life? Why? What's happening? Why are you upset?" And I sat there and like talked to her for probably an hour or so, just going over what was going on in life, and she helped me get set up with um, food stamps. She helped me get set up with a therapist through Medi-Cal. She helped me get a physical appointment to take care of the medical stuff that I actually had to get taken care of because over the phone it wasn't going to work. All in, one phone call. She went above and beyond to get me the care that I needed, that she saw that I needed. It was yeah, the best doctor appointment I've ever had. Unfortunately, that lady retired.
Oh, bummer.
I don't have her anymore, but she was great.
Learn from the example, everybody. Care about the people
Yeah.
that you're supposed to care about, because it's your job.
Yeah. God damn it.
The texture on this is looking really good.
Yeah, I still need to blend it, but I'm happy with where it's at right now.
It's almost got that like 1980s aha music video kind of feel to it.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Okay, it is 6:25 already?
Oh my gosh, yes it is.
Alright, well, I'm gonna do another break real quick, and I'll be back in a few. Alright, folks, so we're wrapping up the last half hour or so of Live with Lava Sub here. Here's the image we've got for you so far. We still have a ways to go, but I'm pretty happy with this. It's pretty clear what's happening in the image, and like the legibility of it's nice. I almost want to darken up this mid-tone layer just a bit. See what that looks like. Oops. Nah, fuck it. We can do that later. Okay. So I think I could just do the head and the arm on the next layer. Oh, I haven't thought of how to make my hair stand out. Should I do a funny color with my hair? Ooh, okay, let's do like a nice kind of pinkish, like a dark red kind of color, but yeah, I kind of like this. Oops. Okay. Oh, right, the hair layer is going to have to go on top of the shirt layer. Alright, well then let's do that now. Yeah, man. Huh. I'm tempted to throw a halo. So like airbrush kind of halo over the back of my head here. Is this a new layer? This one. That I can get away with. Oh, slow down. Then I can get away with making my hair very dark. Not worry about it being invisible. Oh, it has to go under the card layers, but on top of the shirt layers. Okay. Glad I didn't merge anything yet. Okay. Let's go back into it. Let's hide that layer real quick. Oh, we need a purple. Actually, we're gonna have to hide these shirt layers so I know where the hair's sitting. Just roughing this in real quick. Probably gonna delete, go back in later. Trying to see what this looks like. Heard Bruce Buffer earlier and thought you were watching boxing. I was like, ooh, what do you want? Who's fighting?
Oh no, Creed 2.
Oh, okay, sick, sick, sick. Scotch watching the Creeds. Yeah, I'm glad I did that highlight, that halo layer. Yeah, that's gonna be almost necessary. Because I'm gonna have to go black for some of this. Specifically, like where this beard and shadow exist. And you can see there's so much of just the same shade, where the what's the word? The legibility of the image will get a little bit muddy for the dramatic quality of the lighting. Might throw off the image because I've kind of avoided the color black because I knew I was going to do this big kind of big galaxies space vibe. So that halo layer is going to help a lot of stuff stick out. Alright, I am officially deleting that hair. We're going to start over. We're going to do a new layer. We're going to do black. We still have that purple there, right? Yeah, cool. And the halo layer. Smart. Okay. I'm just going to start doing these hard blacks. And we're going to try and avoid some of this, like, where the light's hitting the hair. We'll come back to that. Don't know if I want to use a brush because it's going to make it take longer. We only have a little time left. But I don't want something so hard that it doesn't look like hair. Something with a little texture, but not much. That's not bad. Okay, let's do that. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure this is just going to take longer because now I'm going to do like all of the individual little black lines. But we're going to lose legibility from the image in a little bit. So I want to make sure this is really clear. Especially with that halo coming over. I want to keep all of these areas where the light is coming through the hair, specifically for that halo layer. I should be simplifying here, but I think end result's gonna make me happier this way. The road to get there won't be quite as, like, enjoyable. It's still gonna be fun when it's done. Exactly. Some days you gotta be Nathan, some days you gotta be Julia. Exactly. Thank you, Sam. Though Julia wouldn't even do this shit. This is insanity that is almost entirely my own. Mostly because they're aware that as a they're performing. You know, I am still, you know, figuring out how to do art as performance, which, you know, I've done a lot of, frankly, over the course of my life. I've done quite a few sessions of like live painting for shows and stuff like that. My shows, friends' shows. I really enjoy doing it, but because there's live music, you're not like having to talk to people. um, so that makes it a little easier. This is its own thing, you know, doing art on live streams. Still something I'm figuring out how to like like make decisions that make it more like watchable effectively. Although, you know, I do a pretty good job talking a lot, even when I'm not like even when I'm very concentrated on what I'm doing. So I don't know. Y'all are here. I don't know how many of you right now. uh, you know, I appreciate it. Aw, thanks, Sam. And when you say you're most days you're a Karina, are you referring to just being a Chaos Goblin, or yeah? I think yeah. Uh, I most of the time do identify as a Karina, although often I do identify as a Jacob, just never as an artist. Yeah, the three genders. Yeah, or the four genders, right? Nathan, Jacob, Julia, Karina. Yeah, I counted four. Four are there. Who's your favorite Drawfee guest, Sam? Because they've had a lot of really good ones. Up to you. Totally up to you.
Okay, so oh gosh, there's two that I want to say that are really good because
All
I
right,
just
we'll do both.
okay, so the Brennan Mulligan D&D draws that they've done have been some of my favorite like outcomes of the draws.
Okay.
So I would say Brennan Lee Mulligan is one of them. The other one is just I love the conversations that come out of it is when Willie Muse is a guest on Trophy. And like I watch Willie's video essays on his channel on YouTube. Like
Right,
he's one of the
same.
creators where I'm like, I know you're small, but I love your content and I'm going to make sure that I watch your video from start to finish on the first day as soon as I can.
Totally. Yeah. I love Willie's stuff. Willie's definitely one of my favorite recurring guests. And it's like Willie has like early on in the draw days, I'm pretty sure there was a couple episodes where Willie actually did draw, and they're just like these horrific, not
What?
like the worst drawings you've ever seen, but certainly not like typical for Drawfee episodes. So it's I appreciate their willingness to play along.
Oh, I need to go back and watch that then because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I had a like during the pandemic, I had like a whole stint of just going back, and this is when I was like I was on my workout shit, I would just go and put on like old Drawfee episode after old Drawfee episode, just like rewatching, because I had started watching some of their stuff like on the Facebook days. That was how I got introduced to Drawfee, was their when they were still working on they were putting videos out through Facebook. And so yeah, watching a lot of those old videos was like this wonderful little nostalgia.
So did you
Yeah,
know
it
about
reminded me.
Willie, like, separately from Drawfee, or did you know about him because of Drawfee?
No, yeah, that's because that was where I was introduced to Willie, was through Drawfee.
Okay, because I found him through his, like, America's Next Top Model watches and reacts.
Oh, wow.
Like, it totally popped up separately from Drawfee in the algorithm for me. I'm like, oh, I've been watching a lot of stuff about Tyra Banks' shows and, like, realizing that, oh my god, this was shit that they put models through back in the day. And all of a sudden, like, Willie Muse pops up and I start watching the ANTM stuff that he's put out. And then, like, randomly on a Drawfee, I'm like, wait a minute, Willie Muse is a guest on Drawfee?
Yeah.
It was a fantastic day.
Oh yeah. That's amazing that that was how you got introduced to it. Yeah, because like that was like after they had lost they had stopped working through College Humor.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole the disillusion and everything. Yeah.
Oh, College Humor.
Yeah. They've been around for so long. It's like it's crazy how much material they have to go through once you start poking through it.
It's a huge catalog.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like one of the big reasons I was going through their old stuff, because like they've put out so much that yeah, it's like I could do like I could do hours of a workout without having to change it up.
That brush is amazing for hair.
It's working.
I love it. I love that texture for the beard.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to see if I can get a similar brush in Clip Studio.
Yeah, this one, it's called Signature Ink, but it's like when you blow it up real big, you can see it's got these like, it's essentially 3 vertical. Ooh, that's too big.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like this very muddy brush, almost like a sponged, almost like
Okay.
sponged on.
Yeah, I just really like
Looks
the
like
way
a mouth.
yeah, it's making like little whippy ends on the
Yeah.
hair. I love
No,
it.
I use this brush quite a bit. Oops. Remember to change the size back down. Okay.
It's a magnificent beard, but not quite that bushy.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Is that a goal?
I don't know. Sometimes I love having facial hair, and sometimes I absolutely hate it. Yeah, sometimes it makes me. I enjoy having a beard, but it's also kind of a hassle. I still am figuring out how to like trim it too. I have no, like my dad passed away before I ever had a beard, so I didn't have like the opportunity to ask him those questions before he died. So I'm still like figuring that out on my own. Internet videos don't necessarily like help with the nuance of it.
You should
So,
ask
and I've tried.
TikTok. Ask TikTok. They might be able to help you out there. Somewhere
I'll
on
give
Beard
TikTok
Talk,
a
somebody
second.
wants to teach you.
Yeah, and like if you, I don't know if you're allowed to say like bong and stuff, right? Like that's not.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I'm
Okay, like if you smoke out of a bong and you have a beard, like I didn't realize until like recently, like how many people I knew who just like were doing bong rips and like you get bong water in there, dude. I don't care how clean your bong is. That smells bad.
What?
You have to wash that shit. I wash that shit every time I eat, every time I take a bong load, and like half the time when I drink things because it's just like if it's big, it's bushy, you're fucking getting shit everywhere, dog.
Wow, I didn't realize that beards were that messy.
Oh, it's gross, honestly. Like that's one of the things about it that are just like kind of makes it not so romantic, you know, an idea. They're nasty, dude. Beards are gross. You have to really like if you have one, you have to make sure it's clean all the time.
Yeah, it
Like
seems like a
God,
very high maintenance thing.
yeah, it's like supposed to be this symbol of like rugged masculinity, and meanwhile you're like preening and combing and brushing and washing 20 times a day. It's like one of the like most maintenance I have, like one of the things I have to maintain the most on my body. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's funny because I always thought like I I still think that you know um, beards are going to start being like a more of a thing that are less gendered. I would like that to happen personally
At this
because
point,
they
I'm
are
so used to seeing bearded drag queens that like it's like, yeah, that makes total sense. It's just it's a fashion choice.
right. Like there's that non-binary activist and entertainer. I can't remember I think it's like a lock, something like that. And they
Mm-hmm.
have a really lovely beard a lot of the time, and I don't necessarily appreciate all of their takes, but they're pretty cool. And I think having the beard is dope. It's a bold choice, and it's one of the ones that one of the people that kind of like uh, makes me feel comfortable with like uh, having a big old bushy beard and being genderqueer. So big shout out if I could remember your name. I would shout it out right here, but I've forgotten. So sorry.
There was a
I don't think.
description. You know who you are.
Yeah, you definitely watch the program.
You never know. If they ever hear about it, they will be able to identify it as themselves.
Yeah,
And they'll be at home going, "Oh my god, that's me! They're talking about me!"
yeah. But yeah, I think that would be cool. Like, I know a lot of like cis women have a lot of uh, insecurities around like having a little hair on their lip and shit like that. And I'm like, girl, just embrace it, grow that mustache out.
I
I
have
think it
not
would be great.
had my upper lip waxed in like 5, 6 years. No one ever notices.
Yeah,
If you're worried about
exactly.
it, you are way too focused on it, and you are probably the only one that sees it.
Yeah, let it go, girl. It's fine. Let that shit grow. It probably won't ever even like. It's very possible it won't be present until you know you've grown it out for years. But I don't know. Make it a thing. You know, be an ally.
I don't think it's gonna get any fluffier or longer than what it is. I have such like fine body hair because part Asian.
Sure. Yeah. No. I just know a lot of women like you know I have a Norwegian and Italian family
Oh,
members,
okay. Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know they I don't want to I don't want to out anybody here in my family, but they definitely
The
I know
genetics are
many of the
predisposed.
women. Yeah, many of the women in my family do that stuff regularly, and it's just like you know I I wish that yeah that's part of my want for beards to be less of a gendered aspect and have them be a little bit more um, you know, understood as this this very difficult to maintain and beautiful thing that you can do, no matter who you are.
That's
You
true.
know,
They
embrace
make
it.
lace front beards now for drag kings, so you can get a beard even if you can't grow a beard.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Guess what time it is?
Oh, is it time?
It's 6:55.
Okay.
It's getting real close.
Well, let's take a look with that halo and see what it looks like. Yeah, this is gonna be fucking sick when it's done.
Ooh. Okay, totally worth it to do every little individual strand of hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is just like the masterwork version.
Yeah, I'm glad I chose the lineless painterly feel, because I wasn't sure I wanted to put all that labor, and then obviously, for obvious reasons, it's taken us 4 hours to get this far. But yeah, look at the end result. It's fire.
You think you're gonna work more on this off stream, or are we gonna see this again next week?
Well, not sure if I'm gonna work on this off stream, but looking at it, it definitely feels like something I'm gonna want to work on more before we get back next week. But you know, because I'm working on the hair portion of this piece, I might be working on that all week. So yeah, you'll have to show up next week to Live with Lava Sub every Tuesday at 3:30 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here at NerdCrafty on Twitch. So you'll have to show up to find out whether or not I continue this piece or am I starting a whole new one. But I tell you what, I will make sure that I have the last two, or the last drawing, because I haven't shown you guys the mask, and the mask is basically finished. I haven't shown you the octopus man that we drew last week, our handsome boy.
The most handsome Squidward.
Yes, absolutely the most handsome Squidward. So yeah, I'll make sure that the finals of those are available by the time we stream next. And yeah, geez, yeah. I guess I wanted to do another shout out for Zach. Go buy some of our Ironheart shirts at the NerdCrafty store. That'll help out my brother who's dealing with constant housing issues up in Reading. No one wants to live there, and still somehow housing is impossible. It's really rough out there, y'all. So any help you can do, give to our Patreon. Buy some Ironheart shirts.
I think he's
I
got
think
a
he has a
coffee
Ko-fi.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a coffee, so you could donate directly to Zach if you so wish and have the availability to do so. Of course, you see my not PayPal, but
Venmo.
what's the thing? Venmo. My Venmo is available. That would really help me out. Any donations you can give if you feel like the work that I did today was entertaining and you feel like paying me for my labor today, I would really appreciate it, but no pressure. We're going to be back every week, and we're only building a following here. Shout out to our new follower. What was the follower's name again?
Out of Spoons.
Out of Spoons, yeah. Thank you so much for following Out of Spoons. Thank you everyone for showing up and watching me draw today and hearing me yammer about. We really appreciate you for showing up. And yeah, we'll be seeing you next week. So you take care of each other, you take care of yourself, and good journeys.